It's 2025. As a heart-centered coach or mentor, you have two options. You either become part of the noise without even noticing, just adding another voice to the sea of noise of all the coaches, mentors, and spiritual activators out there, focusing on engagement, comments, and then now building an audience, but not an audience of buyers who are actually interested in your offer, and call it content marketing. Or you step into the energy of leadership and guidance and focus on building a magnetic messaging ecosystem, something you're going to be hearing a lot more about in this video and on this entire channel, which then gets in front of the right people, pulls them, invites the committed segment of your audience closer to your offer, and converts them into your dream clients. If you have at least a few years of experience in your craft and have been posting on social media for over the last 6 to 12 months, but you haven't found either the amount of clients that you were hoping to get, or you were unable to find clients who light your heart up, that you love serving because you vibe with them so much. And if you haven't found a system that gets you client applications, inquiries into your DMs, into your emails, without you having to go out there, send out thousands of emails every day, hundreds of DMs, making people feel like you're begging to work with them, this video is for you. Every second business related channel, sometimes even courses, tell you that you need to build an offer that must be compelling, that your people would love to buy. And then every other channel or business owner, creator, tells you to start creating content in the hope of getting in front of people who will then become your buyers. But very few people tell you the missing piece of that content marketing that actually helps to make sure that the right people get to watch, consume, read your content, and then they feel the need to get up in your funnels and then invest in your offer. This is what we call messaging, something I haven't seen a lot of entrepreneurs really double down on. Because if all you needed was a compelling, irresistible offer and creating content after content every single day, you would have got the results you wanted. The game has changed, and I can tell you, even since I started, which was back in like 2021, when I was still doing my full-time job, I'm creating completely different types of content to bring in the right people into my business. So any of the old advice you hear that has been shared, or some of the ones that you can even read in books, doesn't apply anymore, because again, we are experiencing an influx of people coming and just becoming part of that noise. If you want to focus on standing out with your brand, with your message, with your purpose, invite the right people into that transformation journey. There are a few aspects of content creation that a lot of these content creators in 2025 gloss over. Not every single person in your audience is going to watch all your content, gets to read all your emails, sign up and attend all your trainings. So what if the person who's just a few steps away from investing doesn't get to watch the type of content that you put out there, where you invite people to apply for your coaching offer? Or what if someone gets to watch your content who could be your ideal client, who is a great fit, but they're simply not at a stage where they could commit to the extent that they would invest their hard-earned money in your services, even if they trust you? The other thing is, and I've been burned by this, and if you've experienced working with clients who aren't willing to do the work, who aren't willing to respect that co-creation that goes on in your coaching containers, going to relate to this a lot. And I had clients who came into my program and then they got all the information, all the training. I even offered them free calls to kind of get clear on what they really wanted, lay out their strategy. And I did everything I could to provide a safe space for them to experience that transformation. But they ended up either not attending the calls and then complaining about no progress, wanting a refund. I honestly don't want my potential clients to just watch one piece of the entire puzzle and then make decisions based on that. I want to use my messaging as a kind of filter, so that the person who sees me as a guide, as their mentor, as their messaging coach, gets to see Chubby is the person I want to work with. Not just because I got to watch this 10-minute video of his, because everything that he's saying makes sense to me. and I trust him? Would you rather have a quick sale because somebody watched your content and they resonated with everything, and then they invest in your services without even knowing whether they would vibe with your values, your story? Or would you rather wait, build that trust over time, and then invite them on that journey, potentially being able to sell to them a higher ticket offer as well, because you've built that trust with your congruent and consistent messaging? So once we have an offer that we know can change, not even change, transform lives, because we've seen that. Maybe we used all these frameworks on ourselves, we use the strategies to help others, and we deeply know how much value that could bring to someone. How do we translate that into content without making us feel like we are manipulating people, we are sleazy, or we are constantly selling to them, but still telling them there's a lot more value beyond my free content? That's the role of messaging, something that I ignored for the first 2 years of my journey, despite being exposed to a lot of business owners who told me how important that is right after I crafted my offer. And it didn't just cost me 2 years of my entrepreneurial journey of constantly chasing clients, worrying about if I have enough clients, if I have enough money to run my business, to keep it sustainable, but also costing me £4,000 in debt. And if you've often found yourself thinking, what else do I post? I'm running out of content ideas. I've shared so much already. People still don't resonate with it, and you're hoping for people to reach out in a DM, to send you emails back when you're sending out your newsletter. It rarely happens, if it happens at all. Or you may have ended up with clients who bought your program because they saw some of your videos where you were promoting it, and then they ended up either complaining, not doing the work, or wanting a refund. Attracting the right clients that you vibe with, your dream clients, starts with building and then keeping on crafting that magnetic messaging that focuses on what ultimately determines the purchase: trust. We could talk about all the kinds of trusts that I help my clients make sure they build into their brand, so the right people will say, that's the person that I want to work with and I trust them. But let's just leave some juicy content ideas for another video. But the mistake I see 9 out of 10 disconnected creators that I speak to make is not focusing enough on building a congruent brand, and then ending up confusing the people who might be considering working with them. The content pieces, blogs, videos, short forms, even the free trainings, the freebies, all make sense on their own. But these type of entrepreneurs either end up publishing content without really a strategy, without thinking how that content will land on the other side with a person that has a completely different version of reality, and how the content will get them to make a decision. Or sometimes the content pieces kind of contradict each other. They use different language, different lingo, different terminology. So the content pieces, all the touch points throughout their messaging where the ideal client is reflecting on whether I can trust that person or not, don't seem to make it into one congruent system, and that system is what we call messaging. The game has changed. Customers have become smarter. There's a lot more noise out there, and many people have been burnt. You might have been burnt as well. So how come there are so many bad offers, bad coaches out there who are just grabbing the money and then don't deliver on that offer? How come all these people get to ruin the coaching industry, the trust in the coaching industry? It's because you can have a bad offer that doesn't deliver as long as your messaging is nailed and it's speaking to the right person. A confused or distrustful customer simply doesn't buy. So if you don't let your potential client, who might be just a few clicks away from applying, reaching out to you, sit in your ecosystem in which everything makes sense because you built it into a magnetic ecosystem where they go, oh, everything he's saying speaks to me. I can feel that he understands me so deeply that I can finally trust him and then invest in his services. You risk losing them to other entrepreneurs who simply mastered their marketing. They mastered how to speak to that person, who got really clear on what invisible buttons to push so the right people, not everyone, the right people opt into their newsletters, sign up to their trainings, free or paid, get to download their low-ticket offers that then build further trust, reply to their emails or anything else that they ask them to do in content, throughout their messaging and their ads, because they've mastered going beyond just sharing value in the form of information, how-to, strategies, this is important, that is important, and focus more on giving value in a way that makes sense to the audience so they make the next decision. Now, you won't get clear on your messaging in one day or even in like a month, because messaging is something that's constantly evolving. It's overwhelming, and I'm never going to tell you that crafting that messaging that's compelling to that one person that positions you to be that category of one where people know you are their go-to person is going to be easy, because it's not. It's overwhelming, and that's why most disconnected creators completely ignore it. But if you don't want to be part of those people who ignore it, and you want to build that bridge between whatever you put out there, the touch points with your audience, and the amazing offers you've built, you've packed your years of experience, a unique set of skills into that. Here are 3 questions you can immediately start reflecting on. Who specifically am I here to serve? And I don't mean demographics necessarily. What types of specific problems your offer helps people with? What motivates the type of person to make a different decision? We know from psychology, people are motivated by either pain or by desire. We can think about ways we can motivate people to sign up for our newsletter. Obviously, asking them to sign up for our newsletter isn't gonna cut it. Get into our communities or reach out for help. What can I say that makes them get closer to that decision? Over just basically sharing the next piece of information that positions me just like everybody else in the market, saying the same things that they would otherwise anyway be able to find in ChatGPT. And what are the most common objections, doubts, or insecurities that I could speak to before they even come up for the right people when they're consuming my content? Messaging is something very few entrepreneurs take seriously, spend time crafting, and then keeping on building and evolving as their business, their offers, their audience is evolving. Which is why if you want to get in front of the right people with your content, build a business simply doing what you love with the people that you love, that you vibe with, that you love serving, here's a choice you can make. You can completely ignore what I just shared in this video, go back to your old ways, look at what everybody else is doing, sharing the next strategy, the next how-to, how you do something without really considering how that lands on the other side, and then wondering why more people don't sign up because you don't address the real issue, what lies beyond why they don't have the results they have, and then build a demand for that next step. Or you can master how to translate your offer, your unique set of skills, experiences, and everything else you want to put into that offer that you know can transform someone else's lives in language that your ideal client understands in their model of reality, so they feel understood, they feel like you're speaking to them, you're calling them out, and then they get to spend enough time in your ecosystem so that you can build trust with them, and then they say, here's my credit card, where's the payment link? If you're the second type of person, I have a free messaging masterclass, all for heart-centered coaches, mentors, purpose-driven entrepreneurs, waiting for you to have immediate access to if you click on the first link in the description. So let me know, what is your biggest takeaway from this video, and how intentionally have you been creating content, keeping in mind how your ideal client, your potential client, is making decisions so they get closer towards that purchase? I'm here to serve you on this new YouTube channel, so if you have any questions, queries, something you want me to create more content around as well, let me know in the comments as well. And this is my first of many videos that I'm planning to post all around helping you build that heart-centered, purpose-driven, magnetic messaging that allows you to build a business where you don't lose yourself, you get to live by your values, but at the same time, you get to work with people you love working with and you actually vibe with. So I promise I will take you on this journey of all the aspects of building that magnetic messaging. Thank you so much for getting to this part of the video, and can't wait to see you in another one.